Hello, my name is Richard Snellbaker, and this is the poster recording for computers in education at ECU. So to start off with our document, we have 18 width for the inches, 24 for the height. We have a resolution of 300 pixels an inch, CMYK color, 16-bit, and we have a white background content. We're going to double check just to make sure. One thing. And okay, so the orientation is not on the assignment, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to create a file. We'll close that one right there. Okay, so now we have our blank Adobe Photoshop document. So what we need to do is we need to create some layers, and we need to place some images and some verbiage into our thing. So first we are going to, since I'm on a Mac, I have to do, I think it's Command Shift N, yes. Okay, so first we are going to have a title layer, and let's see, what else do we want to put in here? We want to have it a different color, or do we want it to be completely white? So the thing that we're doing is, since we're doing space, we have some black and white pictures. So what we might have to do is we might have to come back in, and we might have to change it at a later time. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up another one. We'll do it BG color. And we'll do text 1, text 2, text 3. We'll be putting some images in a little bit. So what we want to do is we want to go to our BG color. And let me maximize that a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to go to the BG color layer. And since we're going to be doing with some black and white, I kind of want to have like a neutralish color to really complement them, because you don't want to have something that's going to be like red or something like that. So an easy way to do this is to go to your brush tool and just up the size drastically. By doing this, you want to have a hard round, so it'd be nice solid. So like if you go for red, it's going to be like that. But we want to do something a little bit different. So you could do something like a green, or something that's more like pop, like a blue, but we don't want to have like black or white, because like I said, with our images, they are black and white, so we'd want more of a grayish probably to like really help with the standing out, so that way the background color is not going to distract you, but at the same time you're going to be able to like have those images pop. So what we're going to do now is, since we have done our BG color here, we're going to go ahead and we are going to where's the lock? Okay, there we go. We got the lock. We're actually going to turn that layer off, because we don't know if we're going to need that layer yet or not. And we're going to go ahead and put this back to 11, so that way like brush size will be like literally back to what it was. Command Z, get that off. Okay, so I think that what we should do next is we should image, image, image 3. We want to change this one to image 2. Works a little bit different. There we go. Image 2, image 1. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to want to do is we're going to want to bring some images into our thing here. So what I like to do is I like to take that out of the X. I should be able to move that around. Yep, there we go. Close that, minimize. We'll minimize our recording. We have our text, which we will get to in a bit. So we're going to actually put this over here to the side. See, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we actually want to make another image layer real quick. Control image 4. Okay, now we're on image 1. So one of the first ones we want to put in is we're going to want to put this in. So you just go ahead and you drag it in. Oh, that is some blurry mess. There we go. Okay. So, like as you can see, it's a decent size, but we can actually make that smaller. So if we hit Command Z, okay, let's try Command Option Z. There we go. Let's make sure we still have image 1 selected. Okay, image 1 selected. Okay. So I am going to put this back in here. And we are going to size this how we want it. And we're going to move it. So we're probably going to have we'll have our title right up here. And then we'll have our first body of text. Then we'll have like second body of text, second image, third body of text. And we're going to have like, so let's look at that. Go and hit enter there. Perfect. Okay. Well, it is actually decided it's going to have its own layer anyway, so because of that, we can just come in here, we can delete image 4, image 2, image 3. Oh, we know that actually is those layers. Whoops. Okay, we still got them. Okay. And that is why Command Option Z or Control Alt Z if you're on a Windows computer is so amazing. So now we want to go to our title. Where did we put title? Title's probably the next one down, so we're probably gonna have to hit the plus. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna want to come to a text layer. Okay. I like to go into like this. We want something that's going to be more professional. So you don't want to have some like Bedoni ornaments or Avenir necks condensed. You want to have something that's like Arial or like Times New Roman. You don't want like Papyrus or Phosphate because those are just over the top distracting. They're good for like titles for like if you're doing stuff for like different films or documentaries or something like that. It's really nice to have that little bit difference, even like in like some animations, like depending on what you're doing. Each of these texts has their own reason to be used. I personally always grew up using Times New Roman instead of Arial, so we're going to use that. And we're going to bold that. And we're going to 72 point it. See how bad that is. Oh, that is gray. No, 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 no. We're going to make you black. Okay. And we'll just center that off there a little bit. And that looks pretty good. So we'll hit enter. Not enter. We're going to hit Command Z. We're just going to click off. There we go. See, it goes in. Sorry, it's been a little bit since I've actually done this in Photoshop. So next we're going to bring up our pages and we're going to get our definition. We're going to go to text 2 and we are going to start about here. We'll drag it down to here. We'll try this. Or we're going to go to 48 point. See how that looks. We'll Command V. Let's see. That goes down a little bit further yet. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to Command Z it. Option Z. There we go. We want to change that to make that, try 30, see how that works. Because we don't want it to be too obnoxiously big because we do have a lot of things to put on here yet. So let's try, now that's too small. So come up, we can just highlight that. We're going to go up to our text size. We'll try 36. Too small. Too big. So we're going to try 42. We do not want 422. 42. It's getting better. I think we can get a little bit bigger yet. I want to try 44. That actually looks a lot better. And so we will go ahead and we will just, off it goes. There you go. So what we want to look at real quick, so we're just going to put that. We can move that over. Okay, now it's even with there. I want to have it a little bit closer to the edge. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, since we have a white background, we have white in our picture here that doesn't connect. So that basically means that like this picture is part of the entire background at the moment, which that's good and bad, because it can help to like show like how you use your positive and negative space. But for examples, I do rather that it actually have like an actual definitive barrier to like really show. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that on. See, now we have that barrier there, which is really good. And we still have this. So what we're actually going to do is, since you see our title disappeared, that is because of our layering. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the BG color down below title. And now our title appears, because it goes on an order. So like if something is higher in the order, then it shows prominent. It's in the forefront. The further down on the list shows whether it is in the back or not. So like if we move that up, oh wait, we can't actually do that. Okay, but yeah, it's like we can also turn on or off. So we might want to change that gray later. That's something that we can easily do once we get this finished. Let's quickly lock our title layer, lock our text layer, and lock our photo. We do not want them getting moved. So we need to do some reordering here. Just a teeny bit of cleanup. So we're going to want text 2. We're going to want image 2. We'll go ahead and move that up so we can put that. It's like, do we have to do this? No, we really don't, but we're doing it because it's going to make things so much easier. So we have our text 2 that we need to work on next. So we're going to bring up our pages again. We're going to grab this little line right here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on there, click on here. About there, and just, it's a very small needed thing, so stupid. Command B. The reason why I end up doing things like that is I actually have a regular keyboard hooked up to my MacBook, and so this is the keyboard that I have always used with my desktop, and so I'm like used to doing the Control and Alt things instead of Command and Option like it is on Mac. So I'm actually hitting it on my keyboard, but since it's a Windows keyboard, I can't actually do those commands. I have to reach over to my Mac and do it. So now we have this. We're gonna shorten that box a bit. There's no reason it needs to be that big. And so now we're gonna go to here. We're just gonna move this over to the side. Yeah, there we go. And it's centered on the left side. So we'll go back to that. We're actually going to grab our next bit of text. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to edit this real quick to put in some like grammar and stuff like that. Like we actually messed up here. So we actually need to do that. And we need to do this. Okay, that's fixed. And since we've done that, oh yeah, title, text, okay. What's text ones? Okay, so that was a mistake. I'm just gonna clean this up real fast. We're actually going to delete this layer because it's not needed. Okay. So we're actually going to skip to our 3 on here. We're going to go back to pages. Okay, so we're going to do on there. Put some periods in here. Okay. Yep. Command C. Okay, so our next bit of text is going to go well, we messed that up. Let's go there. Command V. It's actually almost perfect size. I think that is perfect size. So what we can do is we can go to here, we can go ahead and move that to the side. And now we've done that, well, we can get back to bringing some images in. But we do want to lock our text layers because the last thing we want to do is put an image on a text layer. I've done it before. Pretty much everyone has. And if you haven't done it yet, just wait, it'll happen to you. So we can, what's that? So our next one we want to put in is probably going to be this one, or it's going to be the other. Take a look. We'll do this one, image 2. Okay, we got a nice piece right there. Sometimes these things are perfect, sometimes they don't. They do like to change the name. So now we're going to go grab image 3. This was actually a very beautiful piece of artwork I had found. And enter. Then we're going to grab our fourth piece. Our fourth piece is the USA Network logo, because a lot of people won't actually realize it at first, but it's actually a very good example of the use of positive and negative space, especially when you look at the S. So we're actually going to move some of these over a teeny bit. Just a little off of the we're going to actually come down to text 3. We're going to unlock it. We're going to actually go ahead and go capitalize those. And then we're going to relock that layer. And it doesn't matter if it the box that comes down into here, as long as the text is not intervening, that's all that really matters. So now we're going to come to our second one. Okay, there we go. And we'll relock it. Go to image 1, unlock. And we'll relock. Just rename these fast. And now we're going to go and add we're going to add another layer. Whoops, no, we don't want to do that. That's all we want to do. Text 4. And we'll come in here, grab. Boom. Okay, so now we did that. We need to resize that. I don't know why I did that. So we want back to our 45. Now we are just going to get rid of that whole piece of text. And we're going to do that again. Okay, so I'll try this one more time. Okay. Those aren't good. We'll do this. Those are bolded. Something just seems a little off between these. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna leave it. So we're gonna go here. I want to move 1, 2, 3. We want to move this one up a little bit. Perfect. And we'll go back to that, hit lock. what we are going to do now is we're going to look at this background color. So we're going to unlock this. And that means we're coming to here. We're just going to put this at 9001. And if you get the reference, it has to be 5,000. Okay, 5,000 is the maximum we can add. So we're gonna look and see what we can find. We don't want something dark. We don't want something white. And the gray, I think you just need something a little extra to stand out. That makes it pop. It's a very subtle blue, and it is kind of like a grayish blue, but it's enough to like really separate from white and black. And you can see the words perfectly fine. You can see the images, bright as day. It actually draws attention to them, so that's good. So we have everything that we actually need on that now. So we're just gonna go double check the pages. Sorry for the meowing. Let's see here. Pages, wrong thing. We want the Safari. Okay. So we are good on that. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to make sure that we save. Oh, so that's Safari selected. Okay, so we'll bring this back to the full screen, and we're going to save as. We're going to have it as a Photoshop document first, so space element of space. So we'll do that. That is saved first. Okay, now we have that. This is an obnoxious size. Let's put that back down to something that we can. Okay. Next, what we do is we're going to save as. For the assignment purpose, we're going to do JPEG. I wonder if there is a PNG on here. There's no PNG. Okay. So we're going to do this as JPEG. And we are going to change this a little bit. We'll save that. Okay, so we want the maximum for our quality, because this is something that could get printed out. And we are going to hit OK. Now that that is done, as you can see, we have our element of space, we have the Photoshop document, we have the JPEG. So we're going to actually do one more thing. Because when you're working in stuff like Photoshop, since you end up having, you're working with JPEG files generally, because you're dealing with pixels, one of the biggest problems that people generally have is like if they go to enlarge your image, it's going to pixelate because you're dealing in pixels. So, like, let's see if we can actually show it. Yeah, you can see it's starting to pixelate. You get in, it's really pixelated now. You have like your different lines of it. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to, going to be like, this onlineconvert.com is a really good site. I generally use this for doing this kind of stuff because every time I have a JPEG file, I make it into a PNG. Especially after working in programs such as Maya and Toon Boom, especially Toon Boom. Anytime you're working in something like that, you're going to be dealing with things that you're going to be dealing with vector based anyway, so it actually hurts your artwork to have it as a JPEG. You always want to have it as a PNG if you can. Okay, so we're going to start our conversion, quality setting, best quality, and we're going to start it. Processing. It is done. While it is doing that real quick, I'm going to actually bring up a picture to see if we can actually do the okay, double did that. I want to see if it'll actually, if it pixelates. Okay, so yeah, like generally when you take stuff with a camera, it'll pixelate. So let's see if this will actually, how bad this is going to pixelate. Okay, the reason it's pixelating is because of these images must have been JPEGs, at least originally. Where's the info? Good info. Yep, JPEG. So what we are going to do is we're going to submit both the JPEG and the PNG because for obvious reasons here. Let's see. JPEG. PNG shows up more colorful too. Okay, so we are going to go to our discussion board. I'm going to go discussion board 2. Nope. Project 2. There we go. posters. We're going to attach both of those. Okay, we'll do JPEG and then we'll do the other. Okay, so we want both. Okay. Now we can go here, browse it, and we will grab our PNG. I'll submit that. And then our next reply will be this video. So we are going to go to OBS. And if you haven't used OBS before, it is really good for this kind of stuff. We are going to click off the display capture because, yeah, it takes up a lot of space. So yeah, basically all you have to do is, like, once you have OBS, you just like hit the plus down here to add a scene. And like I named it class recordings, and then in each scene you have your sources. Oh wait, here, let me put that back on. Okay, my bad. So what we're gonna do so we don't end up having issues. Just run that. So as you can see, since we're doing our desktop, we can actually see everything. Okay, there we go. So now I can actually show this off pretty good. So with OBS, you hit the plus sign and you can like make your scene, like I have class recordings, and from there you can go to you'll have sources. You can have as many sources as you want in scenes. Like I have my audio input, which is my coming from my MacBook mic. I have window capture, which means that I can like make it where it only shows Photoshop or only shows Safari. And then I have my display capture, which is what you've been seeing this entire time. And the cool thing about this is, just like the layering in Photoshop, it actually has the layering in here as well. So whatever ends up being on the top, just like Photoshop, will be what's on top, and that's how you can get things to be really in. Like, I wonder if we can show this. Okay. Yeah, it's like I have different things for my stream. Let's see. Hi, webcam. Yeah, this is the keyboard I've been using. But anyways, it's like, yeah, like when you're doing stuff like this, like the Streamlabs here, that's a overlay that comes on top of whatever game I'm playing. So I have my game capture at the bottom here, so it'd be on the bottom. I have the webcam next on the list, so it shows above that, and then I have the Streamlabs, so like any notifications would pop up on top of that. But yeah, it's basically how this works. And then like you have like audio input capture, audio output capture, browser source, color source, display capture, game capture, image slideshow, jack input client, that's new, media source, scene, text, video capture device, and window capture. So you can use this for all sorts of things, and I've used it for quite a few projects of mine. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope that I've been able to inform at least somewhat on some new technology. and that I've been able to really show like the process of doing something like this. And I'm gonna stop recording now. Have a good day.